Hello, I want to welcome everyone to our discussion today on migrating Oracle applications to AWS. I'm Scott Sinclair, Practice Director with the Enterprise Strategy Group, and I'm joined by two brilliant subject matter experts from AWS and Apps Associates. Welcome, gentlemen. Can you introduce yourselves for our audience real fast?
Hi, everyone. My name is Wais Ayubi. I'm a partner development specialist with AWS, and my focus is helping customers migrate their Oracle apps to the AWS platform.
And very nice to be here today. I'm Dusty Knight. I'm the Vice President of Global Alliances here at Apps Associates. And AWS is one of our key and strategic partners that we work with.
Cloud-based modernization is the primary strategy for existing business-critical applications such as Oracle. According to our research at the Enterprise Strategy Group, 62% of organizations identify migrating to the cloud as a dominant part of their strategy for their existing apps. Wais, there's a lot to think about in these projects, though. I want to start with Oracle applications, OLA or OLA at AWS. What can you tell us about it?
Yes. OLA is short for Optimization and Licensing Assessment. Essentially, an OLA provides data-driven output that assures customers can bring their Oracle workloads into AWS and get the same or better performance utilizing their current licensing entitlements. It's important to note that these OLAs are conducted by partners with deep specialized Oracle database, application, and licensing expertise.
And lucky for us, we have one of those partners with us today. Dusty, can you talk about why Oracle customers need and are asking for OLAs?
Absolutely. So licensing is typically always going to be a concern for customers that are looking to migrate to a new platform. So what we're going to do is we're going to help the customer understand their licensing, right-size those environments, and show them how they can use their licensing to move those workloads to a hyperscaler like AWS.
Okay, but what does Apps Associates actually provide in an OLA?
Yeah, so at Apps Associates, we really break down that OLA into three primary components. The first one is vendor licensing optimization and then assurance that's going to work on AWS. So we look at the customer's current entitlements, how those entitlements are being utilized, and then can provide the assurance that those licenses will also work for our customer on AWS. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to utilize tools and we're going to utilize scripts, and we're going to capture some on-premise statistics and right-size those environments onto AWS instances that are going to be based on that actual performance data. So what we're doing here is we're seeking to eliminate any of the excess hardware needs. Thus, what that's going to do is it's going to reduce the licensing count and reduce the licensing cost as they move to AWS. And then last, but maybe even most important, is we're going to deliver a TCO model, a total cost of ownership, that shows the customers that they can bring their licensing that they own today and get better performance on AWS at no extra cost. So during this step, we're providing the customer with their go-forward AWS run and maintain cost and evaluating what options and packs they're using with Oracle database. Sometimes they'll own Enterprise Edition and it's not even needed. So what we're most often finding is that customers have simply over-procured and over-purchased licensing over time.
Dusty, I love this because it aligns with everything we're seeing as well. Organizations are and should be hyper-focused on maximizing ROI. And let's face it, Oracle licenses often are a significant cost. And vendor licensing, such as Oracle, is often complex with confusion on how to move those licenses to AWS. Do you have any customer success stories you can share?
Absolutely. Mood Media comes to mind, Pearson comes to mind, amongst many others. And they're all examples of customers that came off Solaris, that came off IBM AIX platforms, and Apps Associates was able to right-size them onto AWS to make sure that they're getting a better price performance on AWS and with no impact to their actual licensing.
So what's the timeline from beginning to end? How long does it take on these OLAs? And what's required from customers if they want to when they get started?
As you can imagine, it can be based on a number of different factors, but most often it's based on the number of data centers they have. So get a good understanding of that, along with the number of databases that we're evaluating. So typically, if you're looking at, let's say, 100 server, 100 Oracle database environment, We're talking in the range of 3 to 4 weeks for the OLAP.
Are most customers able to move to AWS without any additional licensing costs?
Absolutely. In fact, except in the very rare instances, there's no additional licensing impact. And in fact, go to my previous point there, there's a better price performance once they've moved over to AWS.
Weiss, from the AWS perspective, how has the OLAP program been received overall?
Scott, OLA's been very successful as the program was built because our customers are asking for such services. I'm glad to see so many customers utilizing the program, a few that Dusty mentioned, and excited to add many additional partners to service our growing OLA requests that are coming in.
We're running out of time. I want to thank both AWS and Apps Associates for joining me today. But real quick, I want to get final thoughts. What are the recommendations that you have for our audience? Let's start with Dusty.
Apps Associates, we've been a partner with AWS for over 10 years. We've performed hundreds of migrations, and we find this OLA program to be one of the best ways for a customer that's looking to move their workloads to a hyperscaler to start their journey with AWS.
If you're contemplating on moving your Oracle apps on AWS and can benefit from an Oracle Apps OLA, please contact Apps Associates or your AWS account rep to get a no-cost OLA started, or you can follow the QR code at the end of this video. Thanks for watching.